The year next to our New Year's service. So go ahead and chat with your friends as long as you want to. But we're going to be hearing the calling bell here in just a moment. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Welcome, everyone, to this morning's Oseibo service. Special service for us this morning, and so thankful for you guys for being here this morning. It's our annual service where we do express our gratitude to everyone who has given us support throughout this past year. It's been a particularly tough year for us and all of our Sangha, but we're looking pretty good now, and I really appreciate you all being here this morning. Let me first express my gratitude and our gratitude for everyone this morning who's making this service possible. We have, of course, the beautiful flowers done by Gregory Gibbs. We have Alison, who has been with us now for the last several months, who's our minister's assistant. She comes all the way from Torrance, so we're particularly grateful for Alison. To Alan Godo in the back, who does all of our live streaming. And is that it? Oh, our organist, of course, Howard Hayes, who's looking especially spiffy this morning in his nice new suit. Will the congregation please rise for opening meditation? Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. We'll now have sutra chanting. Junie Dai this morning on page 49 in this book here, led by Reverend Gibbs.
Thank you so much, Shelley. Thank you for being here and sharing, and for all your hard work for the victims of the fire. We are going to chant Junie Dai, page 49. One thing on the schedule I gave to Shelley and Alan, I didn't mention that Allie is also going to give a talk. So we have Dharma messages, and then I will follow. So we'll have two relatively brief talks, but there will be two of them, and we're going to start with Junie Dai, which is one of these sutras that we can only, sutra commentaries, that we can only chant for auspicious occasions. You can't do this for funerals, you can't do this for memorial services. So we only get to do this occasionally. It's the one with the melody, it's a simple melody, so please join in and do your very best to drown me out. Keishu Tenin Shokugyo Amida Tenryo Dokuson Zaihi Mimeu Anrako Muryo Bushishu Ine Honjikishin Yo Fenno Shama Tagyon Yorobu Ryomoku Jonyaku Shonenge Koga Chorai Minason Menzen Enyon Yomangatsu Ikoyun Yothen Nichigatsu Shonyo Tenku Kushiga Koga Chorai Nidason Hannon Chodai Kanchuju Shuju Meito Shogun Nobuku Gedo Makyoman Koga Chorai Nidason Mubi Muku Koshojo Shutoku Keiket Nyokoku Shosari Akutoku Jilai Koga Chorai Midason Jippo Myomon Bothashu Muryo Shoma Yofandan Isho 修上官力中子が将来未来尊本体保険知所系前言少女命大らおひざ上女天の子が将来未来尊実法将来勝負し権限人類し安楽戦後尊厳職業子が将来未来尊小無常無我と薬の水学伝養老一種説法無名字子が将来未来尊非尊無説無悪名薬無女人悪道不主任死神教非尊子が将来未来尊非尊無量法勉強無少数悪知識お上不体死亡大子が将来未来尊が戦非尊苦独自修練無変如海水小逆前言小入所衛生主上非行ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく平等性一切同安もない心安ナモダ仏ナモミダ仏ナモミダ仏ナモミダ仏ナモミダ仏ナモミダ仏。
Thank you. If you'll now stand for Gatha Hotoke Sama, it's on page 116 in the book. And then please remain standing for the golden chain, which is on page 10. That will be led by Ali Sensei.
Oh Namo Nabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Nabutsu, Namo Nabutsu. Now we'll ask Ali Sensei to lead us in the devotional reading.
Thank you, everyone. If you can turn to page 10, we will be reading 10 or 8? 8. Golden Chain is actually on page 8. No, you're fine. It's how it was written, no worries. So if I can ask everyone to read along with me after I read the title. The Golden Chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. May I be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. May I think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. And if you could join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu,
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu,
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu,
Namo
Namo
Amidabutsu.
Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a first Dharma talk from Reverend Ali Yasaki, and then I will do a brief one following.
So mine will also be pretty quick. I'm just going to start with quick gassho, and then I'll read a passage and continue along with my message. So give me 1 second. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu,
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu,
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu.
Hard to encounter, even in many lifetimes, is the decisive cause of birth, Amita's universal vow. Hard to realize, even in myriads of kalpas, is pure Shinjin that is true and real. If you should come to realize this practice in Shinjin, rejoice at the conditions from the distant past that have brought it about. No one knows. No one knows. So this passage that I mentioned is part of Shinran Shonin's Kyogyo Shinsho, or roughly translated, the true teaching, practice, and realization of the Pure Line Way, and is found in the Collected Works of Shinran, this really thick book, on page 4. This passage is actually part of the preface to their work, or the beginning of their work. So we're coming to the end of the year, and now we're in the holiday season. When we reflect on the holidays or the past year, we enjoy good company with friends, family, classmates, coworkers, and even our local communities, even our Sangha here at Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Speaking of others, I have a question for you. What is a gift you are giving yourself? You're important too. To clarify, what I'm not saying is that others are not important, but sometimes during the season of giving, we tend to forget about ourselves. Maybe we can give ourselves a little spa day, or we can go somewhere for ourselves like a local museum, a local aquarium, or maybe we can just take a second to breathe, to take a break after stressful situations like being a caretaker or even making something for that big holiday gathering that's coming up. Maybe one thing we can do for ourselves also is to say thank you. Thank you to ourselves for making it through a rough time that we've had this year. Thank you for making that decision to take that trip with the family this year. Or even just thank you for everything. But if we think about what might allow ourselves to say thank you to ourselves, it has to be because of the support of others. We can thank our family, our friends, our classmates, our coworkers, and the people who even we meet out at the grocery store who are helping us to check out our groceries. Or that barista at the coffee shop who's making us our tea or coffee. Or maybe just those who open the door for us when we're entering or exiting a building. And even more situations. We can also say thank you to our communities, including here at Pasadena Buddhist Temple, including, but not limited to, Gibbs Sensei, Ms. Kyoko, Ms. Kathy, Mr. Allen, Mr. Howard, Temple Board, those who help maintain the grounds, and even you as part of the Sangha who are gathered here today, or even those who couldn't make it today. So let's take this opportunity to say, thank you, Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Thank you, and I want to also say thank you for everything you all have done for me this past year. Back in September, right when everyone was coming out of fire remediation, Gibbs Sensei, the board, you as the Sangha, allowed me to assist you here with your services. And because of this, I have learned so much from you all. And I continue to look forward to all that I can learn from you all next year. The karmic conditions that have brought us here to listen, to reflect on the Dharma, and that have brought us to praise the virtues of Amida Buddha are something to be thankful for this year and every year. And all of these help to make these moments like this one very special. As a reminder, Amida Buddha was a king before they became a Buddha, before they gave up all of their riches, all of their wealth, just to make sure someone like me can be saved from their suffering. This provides a type of gratitude that is so difficult to repay, yet through Nembutsu, through Namo Amida Butsu, I'm able to praise their name. And so as we gather today for Pasadena Buddhist Temple's Oseibo service, let's take a moment to reflect on this past year, to take the time to reflect on all these karmic conditions that have brought us to this moment. And the karmic conditions that allow us to embrace the vow that Amida Buddha has provided for us to say the Nembutsu, or Namo Amida Butsu. And so with that, that was probably a really quick message. So I thank you very much for listening, and I will close with Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
No Midabutsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
No Midabutsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
No Midabutsu. No Mandabutsu. No Mandabutsu. No Midabutsu. No Mandabutsu.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Ellie. Thanks to all of you again for being here. Good morning, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being. Thank you for making it. Thank you for surviving. Today's message is just thank you. Although I will say one other thing besides thank you. I'll come back. I'll thank you is most of the thing. But there's one other phrase that you need to know besides thank you that we all knew that we were a child, as a child, that I hear so seldom from adults. We say thank you, we do. But hey, I mean, June, Shelley, Jeannie, Kathy, Howard, all you people who've done so much, remember to say, you're welcome. Because your welcome honors yourself and the other. You're welcome. In other words, you did something. God, these two ladies in the front, you wouldn't believe how much time June and Shelley spent on the helping families that were hit by the fire. So yeah, you see, thank you, of course, thank you. But remember to say, You're welcome, because that says, you deserved it, and you're right, I did do something, and you did. So don't hide all your goodness. Use that other term, you're welcome, too. But really, this is about thank you. It is traditional to express gratitude at this time for those who helped us throughout the years. But the important thing, of course, is to feel grateful. Do you feel grateful? Should you? All those of you who just lost your home and had a miserable year hunkering down one place and another, are you grateful? I know some of you are. I know some of you are, just to still be here and to be able to get back on your feet. But if you're a little bit angry, that's okay too. That's okay. It's okay to be a little irritated. It was an irritating, unfortunate thing that happened. I also want to explicitly thank our team here, Howard Hayes, our organist, who's pulled us through all this time, Alan Goto, videography and tech support, Shelley Yamane Shinmoro for chairing this morning, Kyoko Okura Gibbs for the flowers and the hondo preparation. Ali Yasaki this morning also helped prepare the hondo and ran the kansho for us and did the devotional reading and also gave a Dharma message. Kathy Mikuni helped with the cleaning and preparation this morning, which wasn't too hard this time, since all of you worked really hard just yesterday to clean it up. I couldn't be with you yesterday as you cleaned the hondo and the classrooms and all that. I was at Mr. George Sugimoto's burial service. I think you all knew he had passed. I didn't realize until I did the funeral 2 days ago that he was 99 years old. I thought he was a little younger than that. And at 99, I told a couple of this, but it is hard to believe, but one of the things Nathan mentioned, I think it was Nathan, his son, that George, even in this last year, 99, every morning, the first thing he did was get up and put his legs under the bed and do 50 sit-ups. 50 sit-ups. As I said, I think I could do 50 sit-ups when I was 20 for a week, 50 sit-ups every morning, and then he would do 50 pull-ups. Now, I don't know what the largest number of pull-ups I've ever done was, but it was under 20, I can tell you that. There's nowhere in my life, in my best condition, I could do 50 pull-ups. So there's a reason he lived to be 99, remember that. Yeah, George, he lived to be 99. Yeah, he lived to be 99, because the first thing in the morning, 50 sit-ups, 50 push-ups, 50 pull-ups. I mean, if you really take care of yourself, you can have this long life, which will benefit you and help you to further benefit others. It's easy for me to be grateful. I have a pretty young wife and 2 sons I love deeply, and I have a wonderful job doing work that I very much enjoy. I'm still in good health in my mid-70s. I'm in pretty good health for a guy who's 76 years old. So I have a lot to be grateful for, but nothing that couldn't change in a moment, I could have a stroke in the next moment, My family could get into a car wreck, everything that makes my life so comfortable and such a matter of gratitude, something to be so grateful for, could change in a minute. And that's the reality of human life. That's the reality of biological life. Life is change. Nothing is forever. Nothing is forever in its current state. In its current state. We can't be forever in our exact current state. Because we change, because we become a little different as the days flow by, we still exist. Change is good in general, generally speaking. For most of us, most of the time, most of the changes we go through are good. That which does not change disappears. Let me go back a little. 2.4 billion years ago, there was I think it was the first big die-off, 2.4 billion years ago, cyanobacteria learned to photosynthesize. And when they did that, these bacteria produced all this oxygen as a side effect. For them, a side effect, for us, a side effect, for them, a waste product. And that waste product of oxygen killed off, I don't know the number for it, right? What's higher than a gazillion? I mean, an incredibly, innumerable number of living beings died because they couldn't change. It's like, what's this oxygen stuff? I can't deal with this. Well, what happens when there's major change? Most things died. Most living beings 2.4 billion years ago on this planet died because this oxygen stuff, they could not handle it. It was burning. It was like acid being poured on them. We must keep adapting to the changes around us, or else we die. That's life's law. We've all gone through a lot of changes this year. How did we survive 2025? How does one survive change when it's hurtful, bitter, severe? There are basically 3 ways living beings survive terrible conditions. One is to themselves change, evolve. Some of those bacteria learn to assimilate that oxygen, and they're still with us. Their species are still with us. Some anaerobic bacteria learned how to take energy from light to photosynthesize. They evolved and they live as species even now. That's one way to make it. You evolve. Another way, another survival technique that we all know is run and hide. Run and hide. It's a good technique. It works in a lot of situations, and a lot of those bacteria did exactly that. They ran into the crevices in the earth. They ran below the earth. They ran into parts of our bodies that don't have oxygen in them. They found a place where there wasn't any oxygen. So run and hide works sometimes. It's pretty hard to run and hide from the fires when there's one here and there's one over there, and they're taking out most of what you see. Some anaerobic organisms ran away to sea vents and places beneath the Earth's surface where there was no oxygen, and they survived. Our community, our interlocking communities, were confronted by bitter conditions this past January 7th. The Eaton Fire was a harsh challenge. It brought irreparable harm to many of our members. And some of us did run away for a while. We relocated for 2 months. But that wasn't a lasting solution for us. Just running away won't work. Evolving into organisms that can tolerate fire was not an option. There's creatures that do that. We know there are these microorganisms that live in the sea vents that tolerate temperatures that are just unbelievable, 10,000 degrees or whatever. We can't do that. We can't evolve to be creatures who can take fire and not be bothered by it. But I said there were 3 ways that living beings can adapt to hurtful, harsh changes in their environment. One, again, is to evolve. The second is to run away and hide, which is effective if you can find a place to hide, and if you can get there in time. And the third, because there's not always somewhere safe to run to, and we can't evolve to tolerate fire. The third way that living beings can sometimes survive massive, hurtful change is to bond together as a community. And that's how you did it. This community did bond together. You all did so much for us, for all of us. We're going to have some explicit acknowledgments later, but I think something we aren't going to be mentioning that I do want to mention is that when the temple had to go through the remediation process, it was extremely complicated and tedious and endless, and in particular, Lori Hatakayama and Toru Hisayasu worked on that, and they spent hours and hours talking to insurance companies and talking to remediation companies, and if this work had not been done, we would not be here today. We are going to be explicitly acknowledging some folks from Cairo and from the Little Tokyo Service Center, but I want to really thank all of you. I want to thank all of you for your courage and your resilience. Excuse me for having mentioned some of you by name and others not by name. But really, really, a most sincere thank you for your hard work, your resilience, and your pulling together as a community. That's the only way humans are going to make it. We can't evolve to tolerate flame. And we can't sneak into the sea crevices or wherever. We're not going to find some little hole in the environment where we can still survive if we let the place go to heck. But if we pull together like we did with the Eaton fires and the Palisades fires, we will make it. That's the human way. That's the pack animal way of getting through this. And we're pack animals just like wolves. We are. This community survived because it is interlocked with these other communities. And I want to thank you all very much for your hard work, your resilience, and your generosity. I will close my comments there and close the Dharma message as usual with Gassho, saying the Buddha's name a few times. Join me, please, as you will. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei, Reverend Gibbs, and Alison Yasaki for very important messages this morning. Will the Sangha please stand one more time for meditative reading, closing? Our life is filled with warmth in sharing life with others. It is a simple truth to learn, but a difficult practice to fully realize. In personal life, it means to act by placing ourselves in the position of another, and in community life, it means to give service with joy and gratitude for the betterment of all. The practice of making others happy is based upon the clear understanding of life, which is oneness. In deep gratitude, let us realize this oneness of all life, the heart of which is compassion. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. So as Reverend Gibbs mentioned, I think this year in particular, maybe most of us have not really been, I think maybe that cognizant of what community means and how community pulls together. I think this year we all were forced to realize how important that really was. And in particular, I feel very, very lucky, I think we all do, that we have organizations like Cato and Little Tokyo Service Center that support us. I know right after the fire, a lot of our members and members of the Japanese American community were not really that, I think, open to accepting help. I think one of the things that really came out of this was a greater familiarity and appreciation for these two organizations, which I think many of us had not really had that much personal contact with before. And I know that over time, they've become more than just organizations that are there to help the community, but really a part of our lives, and especially those who had suffered loss during the fire. So what we wanted to do this morning, and so thankful that both Bev and Peter agreed to come this morning, is to just show our appreciation as a Sangha for everything that you've done this year. So first what I want to do is just ask Bev Ito to come up. If you've not met Bev before, she is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Cato. The week after, come on up. You have to stand in front of everybody. Wait. Right after the fire started, I think the week following, Cato offered their assistance. They came to us. We didn't ask them. They just came and they offered. They offered any kind of support, emotional, information, and then they also offered financial support. So they granted us, and us meaning there were three organizations. One was, of course, Pasadena Buddhist Temple. The other was the First Presbyterian Church of Altadena and the Pasadena Nikkei Seniors. We had, during that first week, kind of banded together in order to provide meals to the fire victims. And Cato came and offered us a special grant to help us to fund dine-in lunches. They also funded a very special performance lunch by the Grateful Crane. Tanaka Farms, we did a holiday field trip out there, and we're going to have another holiday lunch. So really things that allow and enable the community to come together and support each other during really a time of crisis and a time of need. And so we wanted to just present Bev and Cato with a little handmade, thank you, for us. Thank you, Cato. Thank you very much. The second is Little Tokyo Service Center. If you're not familiar with them, I'm sure you are now. Peter G. is here. Thank you, Peter, for coming. Peter G. is a co-director of Little Tokyo Service Center. Again, the week following the fire, Little Tokyo Service Center came and offered their assistance. They provided a lot of counseling. Both organizations provided volunteers for us. They helped us cook the meals. They helped us distribute the meals. They were there for every field trip, for every outing. Little Tokyo Service Center, in addition to their volunteer work, also helped to subsidize the meals. So they worked with our providers, the restaurants Aze, Yama Seafood, and Far Bar, to help us to be able to continue the meal program on a weekly basis for a full 9 months. So at the end of, by the time this program was over, we had provided thousands of meals to the fire victims. And they were, I would say, an average of 80 that we served weekly. So we thank them very much for that. They also provided expertise for the workshops that we're doing, legal expertise, insurance expertise, and also emotional support and therapy. And in addition, they gave us a whole bunch of air filters that many of our families were able to take advantage of. And I think there was hundreds of them, right, that we had, and we had them stacked all over the place, but everybody who needed an air filter got those as well. So Peter, if you could come up and... Okay, and now Jeannie's gonna...
So clean, you could eat off.
That's true. Again, thank you for all coming today. It is a special time. It was a tough year. But not just LTSC and Takeru. We have 3. June, come on up. Shelley, come on up. Kyoko, come on up. These 3 helped organize our community, not just for Pasadena, but extended outside. So what we wanted to do is give a special Oseibo gift, and I have a special heart medal. We do origami once a month on Mondays, and we learn to do these things. So if you want to join us on Monday mornings, we do origami. But anyway, so we wanted to just do a little bit of thank you, because they really they kept saying, don't do anything. But every week they went someplace, picked up the lunch. They spent time, and time is probably the most precious thing we all have. And they gave up their time, as a lot of you do too when you volunteer. And I remember Sensei just last week was saying that we can feel better and forget about our own worries when we take care of other people. So Shelley, thank you. June? Yes. Is this more? Yay. All right. This is like the lion getting their heart right now. And our Kyoko Gibbs. I'll fix yours. Yeah, okay, kind of come together so oh, the screen's not working. Okay. All right. Look over here. I got the right person. Use your string. So again, at Oseibo, we say thank you to everybody. And everybody, we can't say thank you to everybody, because everybody does something here, So again, these are people who give up more than a little bit of time. So our organizations, the BWA, the Pasadena Temple, and the Sunday School Group would like to give our Oseibo gifts to our recipients. You guys ready? Okay. Oh, but number one, I have to tell you, look at our onaijin. Yesterday, we cleaned them. So they're pika today. They are very shiny. And on the website, in about a week, give me a week, I'll post the before and after. But I think the most wonderful thing is when we take these down, you see the names of all the people that had donated all of these pieces. They were not purchased by the temple. Somebody a long time ago, and a lot of your ancestors and grandparents and parents donated the lamps. And we didn't know, you don't see that until you take it down and you read the names. Lynn was able to find her grandfather's name, her dad's name. And we saw a lot of people, a lot of your friends and neighbors' names are up here. And apparently they're on these stands too, but one day, come help us clean and you'll see all these names. But again, time is really very precious and everybody gives up their time. So this is a time we say thank you. And again, I'm really glad that LTSC and Cairo were able to come. And they do stuff all the time. And some of us have been able to work with LTSC and Cairo in the past. But hopefully now our Pasadena community is more aware of how they help others, not just, people in Little Tokyo. Little Tokyo sounds like it's just Little Tokyo, but they do a lot for a lot of people. So at this time, I'm going to start calling up. You ready? So is there somebody from the Pasadena Buddhist Temple to take a gift? Laura, you can take it to yourself.
Okay, well, the first person that the temple would like to thank is Reverend Gibbs for all his support and guidance, not only in the services, but things he does throughout the weeks. The temple would like to thank him.
Thank you, Lori. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, June.
The next, we would like to recognize the Dharma School, Aya, for all that they do for the children of the temple. Thank you very much. And the next person that the temple would like to thank is somebody that provided services, even though, provided services online, even though we were not having them in person, is Mr. Alan Goto. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next person the temple would like to thank is, at a moment's notice, he was here available to help us put on our services, providing us exceptional music. So we would like to thank Howard Hayes. The next group we would like to thank are the Sobs, who, even though we were closed, they were here every day. Even if they had to use the outhouse or the only restroom that we had open, instead of coming inside the buildings, they were eating out under the oak tree with all the bugs and everything. So Scott, since Mark isn't here, will you come up and accept this for the Sobs? Scott. You. No, I'm not giving it to you. Come up here. Thank you very much. You'll see why the next person. The next person the temple would like to thank is Alan Hatakeyama for all the things that he does as far as keeping the temple running, meeting with the service people, and coming in on off days, all hours of the nights. So Alan, can you come up here? Oh, the next person we would like to thank is somebody that does everything all the time, day or night, and supports our Dharma school and youth group kids throughout the year and provides a lot of activities for them, is Kyoko Gibbs. And there's a few people that are not here that we were going to mail these to, but want to mention Reverend Tetsu Uno. He always provides us guidance through our Hikari articles that he provides us. And he also gives us support in other different ways. And we're going to give also a little gift to Bernard Wallace, who is our cleaning person that came back on a moment's notice to make sure everything is clean right after we had opened. So he was very open to coming and helping us. So those are the people. Thank you.
On behalf of the Sunday school, we wanted to recognize some other folks. Just like Jeannie says, it takes a village, and we're so lucky to have this village with us and supporting us. And also, just from C's Candy, we made $1,300. So thank you, everybody, for all your support. That funding helps us with a lot of different activities that we do throughout the year. So we really, really appreciate everyone banding together and really supporting our youth group. We would like to give Jeannie Toshima. She helped with Oxnard to host conference, and that was not an easy feat. So thank you very much, Jeannie. And then we want to give our new Assistant Minister Alison a gift also. And last but not least, Kathy Kumagai, who has been, part of the temple from the very beginning. So we just wanted to thank you.
Thank you.
And I too have a few envelopes that I would like to present. This is on behalf of the Pasadena Buddhist Women's Association. Again, throughout this challenging year, we've gotten lots and lots of support. Again, it does take a village, so we're so very grateful. So I have a few people that we would like to recognize. One is, of course, the Pasadena Buddhist Temple itself. And of course, we have a lot of children's activities too. Sumigoto, if you could come up. Sumi-san is always here to help with the children. Of course, this is the person I always bug by running into the office and saying, hey, how about, and this is Lori Hatakeyama.
Okay, while Lori is up here, you need to know that along with Toru, Lori did a lot of work this year. That's why she's not going to come back as president. I came pretty close to not wanting to come back either. It was a really tough year. But she put in hours And she and Todo both really helped us get back on our feet, having to make really tough decisions, and being really tough with a lot of us because we were all out of control. Yes. This was a tough year. But somehow or another we pulled through, and so I have her a heart.
Also, on behalf of the Buddhist Women's Association, I would like to present this a bit of gratitude to our assistant, our minister's assistant, Ms. Alison Yasaki.
So this concludes this morning's service, but if you will all join us in the classroom over there for some famous Pasadena Buddhist Temple udon. It's waiting for you. Thank you very much.
Still announcements. The only thing, everywhere in North America, Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, this is where we're all doing announcements.
Yes, good morning. Again, thank you for coming to the service today. My name is Marvin Inoue, again, a volunteer down at JANM, which is a Japanese American National Museum, which is closed right now for reconstruction. But there's two events that I want you to be aware of. One is today is the closing day for Cruising J-Town, which is at the South Campus of Art Center College of Design. And it's at the corner of Raymond and Glenarm. And the reason I want also to talk about it a little bit is that some of you might have not have known that a guy named Larry Shinoda lived in this area in San Gabriel Valley here, and he helped design the car that got me interested in really looking at cars was the 1963 Corvette Stingray. He was one of the people that helped design that vehicle with a number of graduates from the Art Center. And just to let you know, the Art Center College of Design, which is here in Pasadena, they have, every car company in the world has at least one Art Center graduate working for them for transportation design. When I say transportation design, I'm talking about anything that moves with people in it, okay? Cars, trains, buses, airplanes, anything that moves, they design things for that at the Art Center College of Design, which is just very close to here, just west of the Rose Bowl up on the hill. And again, that show is closing today, but it's a very small exhibit there, but it's worth seeing. And it talks about, again, the Japanese community. There's something that is a little more important. The second thing I want you to be aware of is that just recently, I'm a political animal, there's a woman named Rachel Maddow, and she just produced a podcast called Burn Order. And Burn Order talks about what was the reasoning for our ancestors to have been put in concentration camps during World War II. And most of the people, even Japanese Americans, don't know the whole story. She has done what I have been doing at Japanese American National Museum when I talk to students and guests about educating them about what happened. But now, since Rachel's done it, she's brought it to a much wider audience. Most of the people, especially Shin Iseis. Shin Iseis are people that from Japan that came after the war, don't know the history of what transpired before the war. I'll just tell you this one incident and get your interest piqued a little bit. And the reason that Rachel Maddow is doing this is because there are things going on in our government today that are very similar to what happened before World War II. This incident is the following. Our United States government paid a United States Navy lieutenant to break into the Japanese consulate in LA in the spring of 1941. The whole reason for doing this, they wanted to find out if there were Japanese spies in America spying for Japan. It was under the guard of the LAPD and the FBI. They had to take a prisoner out of San Quentin that was a safecracker. They took him up to the consulate. He opened up the safe. They photographed everything in the safe, put everything back in the safe, and the Japanese consulate knew nothing about it. When they analyzed that information, this is all prior to December 7th, 1941, they knew ahead of time that there were no Japanese or Japanese-American spies. They did find spies, but they were Caucasian and Filipino. That all took place before, and it's a precedent for why the Japanese were put into into the concentration camps in World War II. I'll just pick that up. The name of the podcast is called Burn Order. And Rachel Maddow just happens to be today speaking at the Orpheum Theater in LA. I'm going, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
We're almost done. This really is going to be the end of our service, and it's going to be almost the end of our activities for the year. I'm going to have a Tai Chi class 1 o'clock Tuesday, and then we're going to be on vacation, and we're going to be back on January 1st. I'll be here, you won't. I'll be here December 31st, 6 p.m. for our New Year's Eve service. So I hope to see many of you December 31st, New Year's Eve, for our New Year's Eve service, 6 p.m. The last thing to do, we have two minister's assistants, Alison Yasaki and Kathy Mikuni. Kathy Mikuni will be officially certified CMA next fall, but she is our minister's assistant. I would like to present both her and Ali with the honors from our family, please. Thanks so much, Kathy, for all your hard work. Okay, one more photo. One more photo.
And it's really been great to have Alice because it's helping out. Thank you.
Thank you all. In case you didn't have a chance to offer incense before you left, I'll light fresh incense. I hope to see many of you next door for some refreshments. Hope to see you all here December 31st, 6 p.m. for our New Year's Eve service. Thank you.